Hi everyone. So I got this Rotring Tikky Mechanical pencil. I have a few more mechanical pencils coming on order today, but I'm going to take this one into work. This is a 0.5 millimeter. Let's see if you can see that. 0.5 millimeter. And it's made by Rotring. Has a, I believe, rubberized grip here, plastic shaft, metal tip, and sleeve there, and a metal cover for the eraser. The eraser is kind of small, but again, I've covered this in previous videos. You don't use the eraser provided you use typically a magic rub. Otherwise, you're just a pencil pedestrian. Okay, let's look at this writing sample first. I'm trying to, just focus it very well. And we see here, I wrote something very nice. It was, I was very afraid of the dark, then I saw the ghost. If we move up here, we'll see that I wrote this math equation, x squared plus 2x plus 6 equals 0. And up here, I wrote an integral. Further up, I wrote, Dear Diary, once upon a time, ... So you can see the quality of writing and my quality of writing using the Rotring Tikky. Now what we can see here is I wrote again, I was very afraid of the dark, then I saw a ghost. And I wrote that with a Pentel Graphlet in the 0.3 variety. The Tikky was in the 0.5. One thing I noticed is I did have two pencil breaks with the 0.3. I had one with the 0.5. Now I've been using heavier lead pencils and I'm moving into a 0.4 series, so I do have to be careful when I'm writing. You see the sharpness of the 0.3 is a little bit more than the 0.5, but again, it comes at a cost. You have to be very careful when writing. Now by contrast, we have the 0.5 here, then we have the 0.3, and then I used a Jetto 0.9, and I was kind of slamming on the paper with that one, with reckless abandon, because I knew that I would not break that lead. However, the distinct sharpness is not there. For me, 0.5 is a good compromise, although I'm looking into the 0.4. The Tikky meets the 0.5 criteria very well, is what it's available in on Amazon. So it's a good pencil. Now this was regular HB lead. I may want to move into some 2B lead later on as I move on with using this pencil. Okay, we can see that the weight is about 0.4 of an ounce for the Rotring Tikky. This is a bit lighter than, say, a Pentel Graph Gear by about 1/10 of an ounce. So this is a bit on the lighter side for a pencil. Now I'm measuring it without any lead in it, so it's got its original eraser. I took out the 3 pieces of lead that originally came with it. It's still about 0.4, so the lead really doesn't make too big of a difference. I did see 0.39. You'll see the weight varies a little bit. But so about 0.4 of an ounce there for the Tikky. Now note this is slightly heavier than a Pentel Graph 1000 Pro, or let me see which one this is. This is a Graph 1004 Pro. Graph 1004 Pro. So that's about 0.385. So that one's slightly lighter, but similar weight. Similar weight. Now we could compare a heavier pencil here. This is the Strix Matri X. This is about 0.52 ounces, so about 1/10 of an ounce heavier than the Rotring Tikky, even though the Rotring Tikky has more girth. Now if we look at like a Staedtler 92509, now the lead's been removed from this, but this is about 0.2 of an ounce heavier, so this is a much heavier pencil. So the Tikky is on the lighter side. Alright, so here we have a writing sample from last night. I was using Pentel 2B lead. I switched out the lead that was in there as I thought it was a bit too sharp, and sometimes it was actually tore into the paper a little bit. So the lead that came with it, I didn't prefer it. Now I was writing this sample here in a non-optimal position. I was reclining in a reclining chair, so I was writing kind of upright with this, but you can see it. The writing is quite nice, even in a non-optimal position, you know, with that Pentel 2B lead. All right, let's look at some further dimensions. So we can see from eraser tip cap to the tip of the pencil here, we got about, I don't know, 14.3 centimeters with the lead retracted. Okay, so if we take some calipers back here and tighten up the calipers, we see, well, we've got, see if I'm reading this right, we've got about roughly, you know, a little over 8 millimeters, 9 millimeters in width near the back end of the pencil. Okay, so it's a little bit wider than normal. If you look here, this section here, you can see it's a, you know, kind of a triangle section in the back, which allows it to be placed and not roll because of that flat bottom section here. Okay. Well, now let's take a look up front. So we go up front toward the grip. Well, I'm getting about, it's a bit narrower. It's about 3.5 millimeters thick, maybe, in that section. Oh no, sorry, I'm reading at the wrong spot. No, it's still pretty thick. Yeah, it's about 9, so it's actually a little thicker at the grip. So 9 millimeters. My bad. So yeah, it definitely has some more girth to this. Now let's take a look at the midsection here. And the midsection here, it's pretty consistent. It's also about 9 millimeters. You see where that 0 is touching there, so 9 millimeters thick. So it is thicker than your average pencil. We'll take a look. Here's the tip portion here. That's what it looks like. Now let's take this pencil apart. So I'm going to unscrew the tip here. Okay, and then I don't know. I don't know if I can get the rest of this apart that easily. If I push it out there, yeah, it seems pretty well in place. So, in the interest of not breaking anything, I'm going to keep it together. So again, I would screw the tip on top here. Does that screw into? It looks like plastic threads probably. Well, wait a sec. No, it's screwing in onto the barrel. So yeah, it might be plastic threads. I'm not really sure what the inner part is made of. It's pretty light, so I'm guessing plastic. The lead, it comes out this end, so you have to cap it with the eraser. And then the eraser cap, like so. So yeah, I couldn't fully take this one apart without, you know, potentially damaging it, which I don't want to do. We also have the serial number here. You can just peel that off. Keep the niceness of the pencil and allow yourself to clean it. Now here's the rubberized grip. Okay, I also wanted to look at a writing sample with the Rotring Tikky with the Pentel 2B lead on a hard surface. So I have this clipboard here and I wrote down some math problems just to kind of show you what you can expect in terms of the writing with the Rotring Tikky. So final question, is the Rotring Tikky good for a calculus test? So as a background, when I took the calculus sequence at UConn, which was Calc 1, derivative calculus, Calc 2, integral calculus, Calc 3, multivariable calculus, and then Calc 4 was differential equations. In Calc 2, I got a 99.6 for an overall grade. Calc 3, multivariable, I had above 100 average because I got an impossible bonus, and I kind of slacked off near the end. I think I ended up with like a 98 overall. But students in my class, they asked me how I was doing so well, and I said, well, I got a new mechanical pencil for every test to give myself better luck. And some of the students actually started doing that. I was a bit of a goofball back in my early 20s. Surprise, surprise. Anyways, I would say this would fare well on a calculus test. I would swap it out for Pentel 2B lead. It's a little bit darker lead. I would bring a magic rub eraser, and this would be good for people who prefer pencils with a little bit more girth to the grip. So it has a little bit larger circumference around the grip than, say, a Pentel P205. If you prefer the narrower pencil, this might not be for you, but if you like something like a modern day pen that's a little bit girthier, this is a good one to try out. I got it off of Amazon for $6-7. Anyways, if you like this video and like this pencil review, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye.